this case as it is over this movie production called Pana T, Mr. T, is, as I perceive it, a infringement of a personal rights, copyrights of intellectual property of my father's diary 1954, a work that obviously is very well known. It very much defined his character and his personal history, and there are some producers in Poland who made a movie, this Mr. T, that I allege is very much not only based on the diary, not only inspired by the diary in my father's life, but has taken parts of this work and integrated them into their movie. Now, it's interesting, as Onet did, and I think many people, I think this is approaching 1 million views or so, this Onet article really broke down a very large journalistic reportage of this story, of this this back and forth that's occurred with myself and these producers, Propeller Films, Jarek Bolinski, and who runs this film company, as well as his director and the director's partner screenwriter, the director Marcin Krystałowicz, and his screenwriter partner Andrzej Golda. And all the story was put together in this Onet reportage and interviews with them. And in these interviews, there's lie after lie. I mean, I've been lied to by these people, as the Onet story goes, for the better part of 2 years. So they took the diary, and they even, when they applied for PiS, Polish Institute of Film, funding, they originally were saying they were going to do an adaptation of the diary. And then the project morphed into this other project, Mr. T, where they say there's nothing from the diary. Well, as Onet pointed out, there's dozens of instances, and we have dozens of pages of analysis done by somebody who's an expert on my father and who's an expert on the diary, and all the things taken from the diary and put into this movie, verbatim lines, the look, the style, the sounds, the jazz, the history, the personal history. To give you an example, as those who have read the diary, my father was tutoring and involved in a romantic relationship with his student named Bogna, Christina. And in the original script, which I happened to see a copy of over the last couple of years, the original script they were working from, the character that Pana T, Mr. T, is tutoring and involved in a romantic relationship, her name is Dagna. Now, they did change that when I came into the picture and said, "What gives, guys? Hey, this looks like it's work that's been lifted from our intellectual property." And then they changed the name of the character to Maturzystka. Student taking the matura, I guess. So this whole story is rather ridiculous. They ignored my counsel and myself, did not screen the film for us until a couple weeks before they aired it in Gdynia. So when they suggest that, oh, we didn't sue because we don't think that there's anything to sue over, that's not a true statement. That is, we just saw, my lawyers and my proxy saw the movie in Warsaw 2 weeks before Gdynia or so, and we've tried in good faith to settle. I've suggested that they should be purchasing a license to use this work, or we'll have to bring suit. We'll have to actually go to court. And that's a sad thing because, it is a decent movie. It's got great source material. It's got the diary. It's got my father's history. Pavel Wilczak does a phenomenal job playing my father. They can deny it all they want, but he dresses like him, he looks like him, he listens to jazz like him, he's romantically involved with his student like him. The plot, the action, the dialogue, the characters, the characterizations, all these things are lifted from this iconic copyrighted work. And that is unacceptable in a society where, rule of law exists, where there's intellectual property protections codified into law. This can't happen. So as I said in my Onet interview, if they would have come to me in 2017 when they're building the production, or even in 2018 when they'd already launched shooting, and said, okay, we really want to do this. We didn't realize, you were in Poland and whatever excuse, that honest or dishonest. But if they would have in good faith come to me and said, we want to procure a license, I would have given it to them for next to nothing. But there needs to be a message sent about the violation of copyrights, intellectual property rights. And as a result, unless they settle within the next few days, I'm going to have to go to court and have to file some sort of suit.